The cold night was cruel, colder than any winter the northern mountains had seen in years. Snow fell in thick sheets, burying everything under white silence. The wind howled like a hungry beast, blowing sharp ice needles through the air. Deep inside this storm, an alien woman struggled through the snow. Her name was Lyra. Her small body trembled violently with each step. Her clothes were torn. Her skin, glowing faint gold under the moonlight, had turned pale from the freezing air. In her arms she held a tiny child, no more than a few months old. The baby was wrapped in a thin cloth, too thin to fight the cold. Lyra's breaths were weak. Her legs shook. Every step felt heavier. She whispered to the child softly, her voice almost gone. Just a little more. Stay with me, please. A tear fell from her eye and froze before touching the ground. Behind her were deep trails in the snow, the marks of someone chased, hunted, pushed away. Nobody followed anymore. Because nobody cared if she lived. Her tribe had abandoned her. Hunted from her home. Left with her baby in the cold to die. Lyra looked at the sky as snowflakes covered her face. "I'm sorry, my little star," she whispered to her baby. "I can't walk anymore." She sank to her knees. The snow burned her skin. The baby cried weakly. Lyra pulled the child against her chest, wrapping her arms around her tightly. Her teeth chattered. She knew the truth. This cold wouldn't stop. And she had nothing left to give. So she held her daughter close, closed her eyes, and accepted the cold darkness. The world faded. The wind swallowed her breath. Silence. Her heart slowed. Her fingers went numb. The last thing she whispered was, "Forgive me." Then all went still. The stranger in the storm. A dim orange light appeared in the distance. A lantern. Footsteps crunched loudly on fresh snow. A human man named Jacob Rowan, a mountain ranger, was inspecting the forest border. The storms had been dangerous lately, and he always checked for lost travelers. He didn't expect to find anyone tonight, until he saw something strange. A small glowing shape half buried in snow. Jacob hurried closer, lifting his lantern. His breath froze in shock. A woman, clearly not human, lay curled on the ground. Her skin glowed gold. Her long hair sparkled like cold starlight. And in her arms, barely moving, was a tiny child wrapped in cloth. Jacob dropped to his knees. "Oh no, come on. Stay with me," he muttered. He placed 2 fingers on the woman's neck, a pulse, weak, but alive. He checked the baby. Next. Also alive. Barely. He didn't waste a second. He pulled off his heavy coat and wrapped them both inside it. His body heat hit their frozen skin quickly. He held the child against his chest and lifted Lyra into his arms. Snow hit his face, but he didn't care. "You're not dying tonight," he whispered. "Not while I'm here." With all his strength, he carried them back through the storm. Warmth after near death. Jacob pushed his cabin door open with his shoulder. Warm air rushed out. The fire crackled inside. He gently placed Lyra on his bed and the baby near the fireplace. Wrapped in thick blankets, the child cried weakly. Hey. It's okay," Jacob whispered as he warmed his hands and placed them near the child. "You're safe." He rubbed the baby's arms and feet, warming them slowly. Then he turned to the alien woman. Her eyelids fluttered. She coughed once weakly and whispered something in her own language, trembling. Jacob leaned closer. He didn't understand her words, but he understood the fear in her voice. "Easy. You're safe," he said softly. "You're both safe." Her lips moved again. Jacob brought warm water to her lips. She drank a few drops and closed her eyes again, not from death this time, but from relief. Waking to a new world hours later, Lyra slowly opened her eyes. She felt warmth, real warmth touching her skin. A soft blanket covered her. The smell of firewood filled the air. Her child lay beside her, wrapped well, breathing peacefully. And beside the fire sat a human man, watching over them both. Jacob noticed her waking and moved slowly toward her. "You're awake," he said gently. Lyra blinked in confusion, staring at this tall human with kind eyes. You saved us, she whispered, her voice shaking. Jacob nodded. Anyone would have. She shook her head weakly. No, not on my world. He sat on the edge of the bed, careful not to scare her. What happened to you? He asked softly. She swallowed hard, eyes filling with tears. My tribe. They said I was weak. Useless. My child was a burden. They pushed us out. Left us for the cold. Left us for death. Jacob's heart clenched. He looked at the baby's tiny hands wrapped around the blanket. No one deserves that, he said firmly. Lyra looked at him with disbelief. Why did you help me? Jacob smiled softly. Because you needed help, and because this little one deserved a chance. Lyra covered her mouth as tears fell. You warned us, she whispered. You saved us both. Learning hope again over the next days, Lyra recovered slowly. Jacob cooked warm soup for her, changed the baby's wraps, and gave them a place to rest. He learned that the baby's name was Nira. Whenever Jacob held Nira, the baby calmed instantly. Lyra watched him with quiet amazement. You have gentle hands for a human, she told him one morning. Jacob laughed softly. I've had practice helping lost hikers. Not alien mothers and children, she said, smiling shyly. No, Jacob admitted. You're my first. Lyra looked at the fire, her voice soft. On my world, the weak are thrown away. I thought Nira and I would die that night. Jacob looked into her golden eyes. Not anymore, he said. Not while I'm here. Lyra's breath caught. She lowered her head, overcome with emotion. No one ever protected me before, she whispered. Jacob gently touched her shoulder. You're safe now. She closed her eyes, letting his warmth and his words reach a part of her heart she thought was dead. The moment that changed everything one evening. Lyra sat near the fire while Jacob rocked Nira in his arms. The baby laughed softly. Lyra watched them quietly, then wiped a tear. You treat her like she is yours, she whispered. Jacob looked up. Because she deserves love. Lyra trembled. I don't know why you're doing this for us. Jacob stepped closer, placing Nira gently into her arms. Sometimes, he said, family is found in strange ways. Lyra stared at him, overwhelmed. Her voice broke. I closed my eyes to die in the cold, but I woke up because you warmed us. Jacob sat beside her. Lyra, you're not alone anymore. She leaned her head on his shoulder, tears falling silently. You saved me, she whispered. You saved us. He wrapped his arm around her gently. Then stay, he said softly. Both of you. As long as you want. Lyra breathed slowly, peacefully, as if hearing words she waited her whole life to hear. We will stay, she whispered, because you gave us a new life. And that night, in a warm cabin surrounded by snowfall, an alien woman who had been ready to die found hope, family, and a new beginning, because a human chose to warm their cold world.